Welcome to my 20-gallon long free aquarium update. So since you last saw a video of this fish tank, I obviously first thing I did was I changed out the gravel for a more planted tank friendly gravel. I'll put the link below the video for a link to this type of gravel that I use. My students are having a difficult time understanding why I didn't want to keep the rainbow gravel. It does look nice, it is nice and pretty, but I prefer function over form, and I like to be able to grow healthy plants, and this substrate I found really does help to grow healthy plants, and of course still serves the purpose of a place for beneficial bacteria to colonize, just as does any gravel or substrate. So anyways, the next thing that I did was I obviously filled it up with water. I took some water from my established 10-gallon tanks. When I did a water change, I took that old water and put it into here. I also took some gravel, the gravel on the left side over here. This is gravel from out of those established tanks. And then I filled the rest of the gravel is gravel that I have basically, I guess you would say, stockpiled in a 5-gallon bucket that I've saved from previous tanks. As I'm getting the fish tank set back up again and going, I'm using that gravel from old tanks. The next thing I did was I put the plant in here. You see this Java fern right here, and I planted a few. I think these are water wisteria in the back, and I always forget the name of this plant right here. And then I put one of the free wild-caught fancy guppies, the males, in here. I guess this was on, I want to say Monday, I guess. Today's Friday. And I put one male in there and started to try to cycle it, because I figured I already had a little bit of bacteria in there with this gravel right here, and then the plant, and then the old water. So I figured it should be safe for one fish. I came in the next morning on Tuesday and the fish was dead, and I thought, oh well, this fish, this tank isn't cycled enough yet, and that's what happened. Well, then later on that day, one of my students came to me and said, hey, your tank is 90 degrees. I was like, what? So I looked at the thermometer right here, and sure enough, it was 90 degrees. It was obviously way too hot in there. The tank was warm to the touch. It was really weird feeling. It felt like the tank had a fever. It was really strange. So then I turned the heater all the way down, and that was my mistake. It was a completely rookie mistake. I left the heater set at what the previous owners had it set at, and it could have gotten turned up in transit, could have gotten messed with when it was empty, when it was unplugged. So that was dumb of me to not turn it down and start to bring it up higher. So that guppy actually ended up dying of lack of oxygen, because warmer water cannot hold as much oxygen, dissolved oxygen, as cooler water can. So I unplugged the heater, I took the top of the tank off to increase evaporation, and I put a fan on top of the water to help to speed up evaporation to cool the tank down. And by the end of the school day, the tank finally came down to a reasonable level. I think it was finally down to like 78 is what it came down to. So it took about 8 hours to cool it down about 12 degrees. So then once I got the temperature down to a reasonable level, 76, 78, I then added another of the wild-caught fancy male guppies, and he's one of them that's in here right now. I don't know which one he is, and he is obviously, as you can see, doing just fine. And then I slowly started to add more and more guppies, and so they're helping me to cycle this tank. And actually, if you see right there, that fry right there is the first fry that I had out of my Guppies. And it turned, and he was in a batch of one. He's the entire batch. He was what I thought his dad was or I think is his dad, if his mom kept the dad's genetic information. His dad is supposed to be a Endler's Guppy, and the mother is a yellow Guppy. And so that's what the result of that is, and he is now currently a little over a month old. He's about 6 weeks old right now, so already started to be able to tell the gender. So to those of you that want to know how long until you can tell the gender of a guppy, if they are well fed, if you do frequent small water changes, the answer is somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks. He has really colored up a lot in the past week, so that's pretty exciting. So these guppies here, these male guppies here, I will still continue to give most of them away. I do like the blue male guppy back here. I would like to kind of see what kind of genes he can throw. I will probably keep one of the reds. I don't know, they're kind of a mutt guppy still. And then there's a pretty cool yellow one is going up right there and then going down. That one has some pretty cool colors. I might see if I can see what kind of genes will come out of that. And then there's one more, there's like a snake skin pattern in here. I think like that really small guppy right in the bottom right there has a snake skin pattern. Actually, that yellow one I was pointing out earlier has a snake skin, so I might just keep him for the snakeskin pattern, and then have the blue, which is right here now, have the blue for the blue colors, because I am very partial to blue. If you want to increase your chances of selling me something, then if it's blue, then that will grab my attention. Blue betas, blue guppies, blue electric blue rams, blue, is it blue Akari? Is that a type of fish I've been seeing a lot? I'm like, I really like blue. So here's the update. It's doing much better. I think that the next thing I want to do is this heater is too big of a heater for this size tank. It's 20 gallon long. I think this is a 100 watt heater, possibly might be a 150 watt heater. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to put in a smaller heater. So what I did last night, it worked out really well, was I just unplugged the heater, and it brought the temperature down from like 80 to just 78 overnight. So the next thing I will be doing is replacing the heater with a smaller one. This one's actually too good. It's a really strange thing to say, but I will be keeping this heater for larger tanks. I do have some larger tanks in the works, but I will be putting in a smaller heater. I think I might have some smaller heaters in my attic, so I'll be going with that. So hope you enjoyed this nice, beautiful, I think it's very relaxing. The lights are off right now because it just really makes this tank pop when the lights are off in the classroom. And just to see this, I think it's really calming. I find it, obviously that's one of the great things about the hobby, is I love the science part of it, but then after I get all the science stuff figured out, I can just sit back and relax and I'll literally just watch the guppies for just 10 minutes, and my wife will walk in my classroom and be like, of course I see you at your fish tank. Of course, that's where I find you. So if you found this video relaxing, then please just give it a like. Please comment below with any thoughts or questions you have. I really love answering questions. It's one of my favorite things. It's part of why I'm a teacher. Please be sure to subscribe. That would automatically enter you into my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Please share my channel with your friends and people you think might be interested. Please follow me on social media as well. On Twitter and Instagram are both at Mr. Science Geek, and please go ahead and like my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Mr. Science Geek. And stay tuned. I'll be posting some more videos. So make sure you click that notification bell.